of Peer is your premier hometown shop specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Peer and surrounding communities.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
WindCircle, operating since 1995. We combine quality customer service and experience with the right technology to meet your needs. Our cybersecurity certified technicians will make sure your systems are secure. Services offered are video and data cabling, service and support contracts, cutting-edge camera systems to door security devices. WindCircle has many hardware options: Dell, HP, Cisco, SonicWall, and Ruckus, to name a few. Our staff has over 30 years of combined network design and cabling experience at your disposal. Call us today, 605-224-1111, and request a free quote. Again, that's 605-224-1111.
At Iverson Auto, our legacy is your trust. Whether you're in Mitchell or in Huron, we embody the values that have defined us for generations. We have been your partner on the road since 1948.
We bring decades of expertise to ensure your journey begins with confidence. Our goal is to turn your visit into a memorable experience, leaving you with a smile and peace of mind.
Iverson Auto of Mitchell and Huron are here to make your car buying experience smooth and enjoyable every step of the way.
Visit us online at iversonauto.com.
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Oahe Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
College is where ideas come to life, where you'll find your pack. And at Northern State University, you'll lead the pack. It's part of the Northern Experience, right here in Aberdeen, South Dakota. This is where the next generation of leaders thrive, through world-class facilities, hands-on experiences, and generous scholarship opportunities to impact every part of who you're meant to be. Don't just earn a degree, shape your future and experience Northern.
Do you have a new pair of jeans or a favorite shirt with a small tear or hole? Or your winter coat has a broken zipper? Don't throw them away. Call Lila Briggs Sewing and Embroidery in Fort Pierre to have your items fixed as good as new. They also provide hemming, other sewing services, as well as custom embroidery for a truly professional look and design. Lila Briggs Sewing and Embroidery is a proud supporter of all Stanley County school activities and wishes the student athletes the best of luck in the school year.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's a particular kind of joy when people come together. There's really nothing like it. And isn't it amazing in that magic moment how all the distance between us, all the obstacles, just disappear? Wherever, whenever, however. Connecting you to what matters most.
Winter programs start now at Grossenberg Implement. The Cold Start program is here to help you get ready before the deep freeze hits. Now's the perfect time to check your block heaters, coolant freeze points, and batteries, the top reason they get service calls every winter. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop by your local Grossenberg Implement or call them today and they'll come out and check your equipment for you. Keep your operation running strong this winter with Grossenberg Implement Service, the other half of a great product.
What if the market shifts? What if the margins on your farm keep getting tighter? Simplot Grower Solutions is here to help. Simplot Crop Advisors know South Dakota corn, soybean, wheat, and other crops like you do because they live and work here. So, even if the market shifts or the margins keep getting tighter, you'll have the insight and support to keep moving forward. Simplot Grower Solutions.
Most people don't think about their furnace until it's not working, but we do. At Pint Service Experts, we are trained to see what others miss. Airflow restrictions, pressure imbalances, heat exchanger flaws. That's how we catch little issues before they become cold nights and costly repairs. Because keeping your home warm takes more than just a toolbox. Our certified technicians will get your system running at peak condition. Call Pint Service Experts for our special $99 precision tune-up today. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Niobrara Health, the First Dakota National Bank, Access Health, the Stanley County Booster Club, Zander Auto Parts, the Hawaii Federal Credit Union, Bauman Lumber, Burning Electric, and the Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Access Health, Farmco, West 40, Oasis Pump and Pack, Fiery Brothers, and Edward Jones. John Neff is our technical director at DRG Media Group's World Headquarters. Tonight we're joined by Justin Howard, DRG Media Group sports director and all-around great guy, as he joins us for our season opener. And Justin, 3 weeks ago, we finished up the volleyball season around Central South Dakota, but now we're chomping at the bit, ready for high school basketball.
Been waiting, and I'm kind of comfortable up here in this crow's nest in Parkview. Very comfortable calling Stanley County basketball in this building, and two teams that are trying to build on some progress from last year, hoping to have a good campaign here in 2025 and 2026. Both wanting to get it started tonight, and I think as we dive into our pregame show a little bit further, I don't think a win is crucial here tonight. I think both of these coaches just want to see something from their starting lineups and from their bench, and hopefully we'll get to see a little bit of growth through these following four quarters.
Zach Nelson is putting things together as the head coach of the Chamberlain Cubs. He has been there for a while and is kind of a known commodity. We know what we're going to see, his style of play and what have you. But Stanley County with new head coach Chris Fosheim, it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table as far as a head coach and his basketball philosophies. One thing that starts out with Stanley County is they try to build from the bottom up. You got to have kids out. They played a C game here tonight. That is a nice step forward for Stanley County.
I think when you talk in terms of growth, it's not just season to season, but when you take a step back and look at it as a whole, when you see this program just growing in terms of numbers, that's where you have to start. And you talk about what Fosheim is dealing with and what he's got coming in. Not a single senior on this roster here for Stanley County. A lot of eighth grade, a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and some juniors as well, but no senior leadership. Fosheim's going to have to try to find some of that leadership in some of these younger players. And you see some of these freshmen turn to sophomores turn to juniors, and juniors turn into seniors as the season rolls on. But it all starts tonight. And Fosheim, I think, like we just said, is going to be looking to see what he can build on with this roster. Kind of find little bright spots here and there. You've got a lot of returning players in this roster, but also some girls that are going to want to make their print on Fosheim here in the opening game tonight.
And as we dig a little deeper, and we will as we work through this pregame show that's brought to you by the folks at Bank West Insurance. For both of these teams, we talked about games that they have before the Christmas break, and both of these teams have some pretty wicked games on their schedule, and so they're going to have to improve in a hurry, and that's what it starts with tonight.
Well, I don't know about improve, but you certainly get a measuring stick opportunity to see where you stand against some of the top talent in the state through the first couple games of the season. And I think if you ask both of these coaches, would they prefer it any other way, they would say no. We want to test our mettle against some of the best, see what we have to improve on, see where we stack up, because you really do get a good idea of who you are as a team when you play really good teams like this in the early going of the season. Sure, it would be nice to play some of the schools that aren't as far along in their program building as some of these other teams that Chamberlain and Stanley County will face. But, we talk about it in so many different sports. To be the best, you've got to play with the best and try to beat the best. And that's what both of these programs get to do in the early going of 2025.
We'll have lots to talk about in our pregame show. Again, that's brought to you by the folks at Bank West Insurance. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you to slow the drive, arrive alive. It starts with you. You have someplace to be. And we will continue our pregame show after this 3-minute break on KPLO.
There when you need them the most. Bank West Insurance agents Sam Kennecke and Angie Taylor are here to make your life easier.
As an independent agency, we're able to customize an insurance plan to fit your individual needs.
We work with dozens of companies to find you the best possible coverage and the best price.
For your insurance needs, contact Sam or Angie at Bank West Insurance in Pierre. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Insurance products are not deposits, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, and may go down in value.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports, from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archive video of all games, and when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota high school sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Venture Communications is proud to sponsor high school sports and the surrounding communities by providing world-class service with a hometown touch. Venture Communications has been offering phone service since 1952. Today, Venture provides fiber-to-home service for 100% of their customers, which means super fast internet streaming of your favorite games and much more. Visit VentureCom with 2 M's, venturecom.net for more information or to pay your bill online. Do you have a high schooler itching to get out of the classroom and into the start of a rewarding hands-on career? Titan Machinery is ready to answer the call. Titan Machinery Service Technician Program is designed for driven guys and gals pursuing a 2-year Associate of Applied Science degree who would love an academic full ride up front. Work on Case IH equipment and grow with us through full-time on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your school knowledge directly to your work. Start now. Build your career with a dealership that invests in you at Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer. Visit titanmachinery.com/careers to learn more. Wagner Auto Company, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer in Pierre, is your transportation headquarters in central South Dakota. With a great selection of new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles, and a large selection of quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. View their entire inventory at WagnerAuto.com. Experience the Wagner Auto difference for yourself by letting them help you with your next set of wheels. Wagner Auto Company in Pierre.
Welcome back to Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre as we get ready for high school basketball this evening. Stanley County's Lady Buffaloes hosting the Chamberlain Cubs. A busy week of high school sports ahead. As a Thursday night, we will see Stanley County's girls again, along with the boys, a doubleheader in Miller and Justin. That should be a fun matchup. I think Miller's girls, are going to be solid. Miller's boys, I think, will be much improved from last season, taking on a Stanley County ball club that I think, after losing in the regions last year, feels like they have something to prove.
Well, I think last season, running into the later parts of the regular season for Stanley County's boys, you started to see the emergence of some of their better players and some guys that will be returning, mainly Eddie Duffy, a guy that can really shoot it well from the outside. Joey Fisher is not secret about what he wants his team to do. He wants his team getting up a lot of shots. Reminds me a lot of the Nate Oates offense being run at Alabama. They want to get up a lot of shots early in the shot clock, get into track meets against teams, because this is a Stanley County boys team that has a lot of shooters. And I think a team that can build on what they kind of worked on last year and built up as a program. And, I think in terms of the boys program, no better hands than in that of Joey Fisher. And it'll be exciting to see how deep this team can run. And, that Miller Rustlers girls team is very solid. A team that Stanley County did not handle well last year. So again, another measuring stick opportunity for Stanley County early on in the season before we hit that Christmas break moratorium to see where they are as a ball club. And I enjoy seeing these teams led by new head coaches early on in the season and get to follow their progression throughout the year and see how far that they can come as a program. And I think that's one of the main goals for Stanley County girls this season.
Stanley County and Miller's doubleheader Thursday. First game of the doubleheader scheduled for 6:30. We'll be on the air around 6:15. Then on Saturday afternoon, we'll have Jones County versus Highmore Herald, another doubleheader of high school basketball. Highmore Herald and Jones County boys, I think, will have to feel their way early in the season as they get things up and running. But I think Jones County's girls Highmore Herald's girls, at least on paper. That's going to be a fun matchup Saturday afternoon.
A couple of really good ones there on Saturday on KPLO, and all of that kind of leading up. We were talking a little bit about the Jones County Invitational earlier today. One of Darren Boyle's favorite events to go over and call. Going to be very excited to see some of the better teams around the state all converge over in Presho. But all around, we've got some great action on KPLO. You get the benefit of kind of bouncing around and going school to school and seeing how some of these teams fare in the early parts of the year and kind of how they progress. And, if Darren Boyle says it's going to be a good matchup, then you're just going to have to tune in on Saturday afternoon.
We checked on the start time. I believe it is a 3:00 start time, but don't hold me to that. I believe that's when the first JV game will get underway. Possibly might be 3:30, but we'll have both games of that doubleheader for you Saturday, and a busy week next week as well here on KPLO. And, of course, Justin on KGFX with the Pure Lady Governors, and also following a lot of Stanley County here over the course of the next few weeks as everybody gets up to speed.
Well, especially for these Lady Buffaloes in terms of what they had to progress on from last year, and something that we'll be interested to see tonight is how Chamberlain wants to play Stanley County defensively. One thing that the Lady Buffaloes struggled with last year was getting the ball up the floor. They did not do well against the press. Certainly something that I think they have focused on in this offseason and this preseason. And in terms of ball handling, we saw it in the game beforehand. There was a lot of offensive prowess on the floor for Stanley County. Looks like they're trying to get the importance of ball handling implemented, and we'll see how Stanley County Lady Buffalo basketball can get the ball up the floor. Stanley County boys basketball doesn't have any problem, and it'll be fun to call some of those boys games on KGFX this season. They know how to get the ball around, sling it around, and there's going to be a lot of action, and we'll have to bring our cough drops with as many points as we'll be calling with Stanley County boys this year.
Absolutely, and we'd like to, of course, welcome those of you joining us tonight on the KPLO page at drgnews.com. Our Keys to Success segment is coming up next. We'll do that in 3 minutes on KPLO.
From the first wails of surprise to first day of school questions, playground adventures, learning to drive stress, and graduation cheers, they'll always be your little sunshine. At Avera Children's, we get kids, teens, and parents too. We'll step you through first checkups, milestones, sickness, and specialized care when your child needs it, and treat them like our own every step of the way. Learn more at avera.org/children's.
You might ask yourself, when is the best time to start saving for retirement? Well, the answer is simple. It's today. Jared Evans, your Chamberlain Edward Jones financial advisor, is here to help. He will work with you to build a plan for your ideal retirement by identifying your unique goals and help keep you on track to achieve them. The sooner you get started, the better. Call Jared Evans at 605-734-4106 to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At First Dakota, we don't like to brag about ourselves. So when Forbes named us South Dakota's best bank again, we faced a dilemma. Thankfully, we have the state's best customers, so we're happy to brag about them instead. After all, they inspire us every day. The farmers, the business owners, the families. Without them, we'd be just another bank. So thank you to all of our amazing customers. We wouldn't be here without you. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Imagine what it would look like if we didn't have companies to haul away our unwanted things.
Ugh, yeah.
Take a second to think about it. Not a pretty picture, is it? Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain can and does clean up that picture. They're here to help you with your disposal needs. Whether it's weekly pickup of household trash or you have a special project that needs a large container, Byrie Brothers will help you with what you need done. Give them a call at 605-234-5771. That's 234-5771. Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain. Satisfaction is guaranteed. Call today.
The best one-stop for hunting and fishing is the Oasis Pump and Pack in Ocoma. Open 6 a.m. until 11 p.m., we are your fast and easy one-stop for hot food from the Hot Stuff Kitchen, with food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with grab-and-go sandwiches and deli items. Call in orders at 234-5325. We have the area's largest selection of ammo plus hunting and fishing supplies, now featuring the Coffee Cantina Coffee Shop. Oasis Pump and Pack in Ocoma, proud of our area students and their participation.
At
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
Back here at Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre, we get set for high school basketball. Chamberlain and Stanley County just a moment from getting underway. Our Keys to Success segment brought to you by the folks at May Adam. And one of the things we touched on a little bit earlier, but we'll bring up now is it's time to the schedule for both of these teams upcoming. And this is going to be a measuring stick, if you will, but also a very big challenge for both of these teams in the early weeks of the season. For Chamberlain, they start out with Stanley County. Then on Saturday, they travel to Todd County and take on the Lady Falcons, a very solid ball club. And then next week, Parkston, that is at Chamberlain. But Parkston, I think, is going to be one of the teams to look for as far as the Class B field is concerned on the girls' side of the equation. And then the River City Classic will be one of their matchups, including Kimball White Lake, one of their longtime rivals before the Christmas break comes. And for them, 5 games and some big challenges for the Chamberlain Cubs.
Big challenges against some good teams and some tough places to play. You talked about that road matchup with Todd County. You alone have said a very, very difficult building to get a win in, and then against Parkston. Luckily, they do get the benefit of that game being at home, but you want to talk about a complete program that is Parkston. I think with the River City Classic, that'll give them a good opportunity to get a lot of games in some tight time. And I think important, a lot of coaches would tell you this couple game stretch before the Christmas break is all about just getting some reps, repetitions, get out on the floor, get the legs loose, see what you have, and kind of get yourself in a rotation as a team and get a good base built. I don't think it's so much about the wins and losses leading up to this Christmas break. More is about building that base of what you want to be as a team when you come out after that long break.
And you look at Stanley County on the other side of the equation. Chamberlain here tonight. They take on that solid Miller squad on Thursday. And then White River, a team out of Region 7B. I don't think they're going to be a very bad ball club as well. Winter is always solid. That's the matchup on the 16th of December for the Lady Buffaloes. And then one more game, and that rivalry game here at Parkview, taking on the Philip Scotties. Philip, I think, is kind of an unknown equation at this point, but they're always a good rivalry when they get together. So for Stanley County, they get 5 games before the Christmas break as well. And, you know, sometimes just going out playing is better than spending a lot of time at practice. And I think sometimes these kids get a little frustrated practicing day after day after day. They just want to play games, and they'll get a chance to before Christmas.
Well, you can go back to the old football term. It's nice for our team to hit somebody else. It's nice for your girls to go out and play against different competition than that's in the same building as you. And one thing to point out, 3 of these first 4 games for Stanley County are all on the road, and they come against Miller, White River, and Winter. And as you said, those are 3 really solid opponents. They do get to close out the early schedule before the Christmas break again at home against Phillip, and road or home against Phillip. That's going to be a tough matchup because of how the rivalry runs. But again, like we said, Foshan's just happy to see his team get out, play against some different players, get different feels. And again, we're talking about building that base until you go into that break. Take what you've done in practice, try to execute it out on the floor, and take whatever you can kind of find with this team in the first couple weeks and use that to your advantage once you get into that break, something you can fall back on before you get to the other side and into the new year and really dive into the thick of your schedule.
Time for tonight's starting lineups, and for the visitors, the Chamberlain Cubs, they will start at one guard, Callie Randall, a 5'5" senior, Talina McBride, winger, a 5'6" senior, the other guard. They have a big front line, Kalakaya Robach, a 5'10" sophomore, Amelia LaPointe, a 5'8" junior, Natalie Nelson, another 5'11" junior for this Chamberlain Cubs squad, will get the start for the Cubs. Chamberlain, again, under head coach Zach Nelson, gets their season underway tonight. For the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, at one guard, Addie Deal, a 5'7" sophomore, Austin Norman, a 5'8" junior, Alyssa Tedder, a 5'8" freshman, we'll see on the front court, Lainey Masteller, a 5'6" freshman, We'll get the start for Stanley County as well. In the post, it is Jorea Walker. Walker, a 5'9 junior for the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, who get their season underway. Their head coach is Chris Fosheim. Stay with us during the post game for our contest here tonight. We'll have the big play of the game brought to you by Golden Buffalo. CHS River Plains brings us our player of the game. We'll announce that during our post game tonight. Finally, in our pregame, the announcement of tonight's game officials brought to you by the Office of Attorney General and their Division of Consumer Protection. Our game officials tonight are Jim Fugate, Jeff Jones, and DJ Rush. The announcement of our game officials comes to you from the Office of Attorney General and their Division of Consumer Protection. This has been the pregame brought to you by the folks at Bank West Insurance. Basketball is next on KPLO.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division. May Adam Law Firm of Pierre offers superior legal representation. Clients can be assured their legal matter will be handled with expertise and the utmost professionalism. Their skilled South Dakota lawyers can take care of your family law, estate planning, real estate law, and personal injury. They're able to help you plan and prepare to make matters easy now and into the future. Call 224-8803. May Adam Law Firm in Pierre since 1881.
Farmco is your source for full-service feed, Pioneer Seed, animal health, farming and ranching equipment. Serving the Midwest, and better yet, we are locally owned and operated. When you work with Farmco, we take the time to learn your operation and use the latest technology to help you grow your bottom line. We've built our business on serving you, our customers. Get to know Farmco in Chamberlain, Kimball, Platte, and Winter. Proud sponsor of our high school athletes. Visit us at farmcosd.com.
When it comes to cars, trucks, SUVs, compact equipment, boats, and generators, come first to the Riverview family in Oklahoma and Chamberlain. We are family-owned and do what it takes to exceed your expectations. Learn more at riverviewfamily.com. All roads lead to the Riverview family in Oklahoma and Chamberlain, offering only the best brands including Chevrolet, Bobcat, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Sylvan, and Quest pontoons, Mercury motors, and Kohler generators. The Riverview family proudly supporting area high school sports and activities.
When you are busy taking in all the area school activities, remember you'll find one stop with more to offer. You guessed it, the West 40 Food and Fuel in Oklahoma. We have what you want right at I-90 exit 260, including Arby's for quality quick food options. You'll like our large selection of beverages and snacks in our West 40 C-store. Need a car wash? We have one of the best. We are proud to support our area young people, educators, and parents who make our schools great. Go Chamberlain Cubs from your fans at the West 40 Food and Fuel in Oklahoma.
Access Health Chamberlain welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluation for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports physicals. Same-day appointments are available and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Chamberlain, assuring access to quality health care. The Stanley County Booster Club invites any and all adults wanting to show support for the students of Stanley County to join them. They support all student events and activities and meet the first Monday of each month at 6:30. They post the location on their Facebook page each month. Follow them for updates throughout the year and be sure to check out the SC Buff Gear site. A link is also on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. KPLO 94.5 Reliance Chamberlain, 100.5 Pierre Fort Pierre. Slow the drive, arrive alive.
Our opening tip-off is brought to you by Riverview, Chevrolet, Bobcat, Sylvan, and Quest Pontoons, Mercury Motors, Kohler Home Generators in Oklahoma. In addition, you can shop Riverview, Chrysler, Ram, Dodge, and Jeep in Chamberlain. Together, they are the Riverview family. Coach Cowart, let's break things down a little bit. One thing we did not mention in the pregame is we look at Stanley County and Chamberlain going in. Chamberlain has a very good size advantage as far as their front court. It's going to be a big challenge, especially on the glass, for Stanley County to be able to take care of business.
Well, you talk about keys to success, and that is going to be a big one right there down low. Who is going to win the rebounding battle? A lot of times in these girls' games, you see the team that comes out on top in terms of boards, comes out on top on our scoreboard. Now, Stanley County, how can they supplement that? Very easy. You have to make your shots from the outside. You don't want to get into a contest underneath where you're outsized in not only one spot, but just about 2 or 3 positions. So it's going to be on the outside guards for Stanley County to make their shots. And I'm also very interested, Coach Fosheim already getting to work early, was shrinking down the introduction line where the bench players are lined up, making sure that's nice and tight and tidy. So Fosheim already getting to work coaching before the tip-off is even underway. Love to see that from the new head coach for the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes. And it seems like he's got a beat on just about everything.
And one thing that I saw, and I wonder if it will transfer from the JV game, is how Stanley County was trying to get more into a transition game than they have in years past. And I think for them, that's an opportunity. I think they can run on this Chamberlain team, especially if they can run and get points. And it's all going to be a matter for both of these teams, I think. Make shots early and get some confidence, and that'll make a big, big difference.
Well, I want to see the early game playing out of Chamberlain defensively. If they choose to press Stanley County, then the Lady Buffaloes might be able to beat them on the back end, running the floor, and that could take away from the size advantage that Chamberlain has, not letting those rebounders get down there in time. So I think the game plan for the Cubs in the early going is just going to say a lot about the game flow of this contest entirely through 4 quarters.
Cubs in the road white, Stanley County are in the home road red. Stanley County in the home white, and we get set to go. Natalie Nelson controls the tip for the Chamberlain Cubs, and here is Chamberlain as they go to the work. Right side, Randall up top. It is Nelson as Natalie gets away with steps, but beats to the baseline on the move. This is McBride, winger. She kicks it out to Randall, and a 3-ball is money.
No rebounding needed on that one. Winger just knocking it down. Actually, Callie Randall from the outside knocking down that shot. Ice in her veins. Very steady, smooth stroke.
Good ball movement early on the part of Chamberlain. Here's Stanley County in their first offensive possession. Wing right side as the the Lady Buffaloes work the perimeter. Here's Jerea Walker out on the high post, and they call her for a double dribble. Got to be able to take care of the basketball, and it will be interesting. Again, another thing that you look for. Got to keep the turnovers down. You can live with some early in the season, but you've got to be able to at least have the same number, not money more than what the other team has. Randall, you trying to work with it. Good pressure, about 3/4 court pressure on the part of Stanley County as they force Randall to give the basketball up on the dribble. Now they work it back around the perimeter. Here's Lania Pease as she swings the perimeter back to the top of the key and back around as they move it down to the left side. Post play inside. Natalie Nelson. She knocks down the shot, but a foul called beforehand. Jim Fugate makes the call, and the whistle will be on Jerea Walker, and that will be her first. And for Stanley County, especially with the size advantage, they give up a little bit of size, but they also have to be able to defend, and those big players that are out there are going to have to play some big minutes.
Well, we're seeing in the early going, trying to feed it down low into the paint. Going to be a full plate and a full workload for Jerea Walker tonight, having to deal with Natalie Nelson.
Traveling violation, Chamberlain, that comes with their first turnover, and now Stanley County will work with it. Here is Walker. Dangerous entry pass down low. Alessa Tedder driving. Shot is no good. She'll get her own rebound. Then she is bumped. And we're going to have a foul called on Chamberlain as the personal going to be whistled on Natalie Nelson. Nelson's first, the first team foul for Chamberlain. 6:35 remains in the opening quarter. It is 3-0. Chamberlain with the lead as Stanley County will inbound, and a dangerous feed inside, tipped and stolen away. Here is Chamberlain the other way, and then they turn it over. Amelia Lapointe was leading the break, got cut off, tried to feed it back to Callie Randall. Randall, they call for a travel, but could have easily been an over and back as well. Second turnover for Chamberlain. Stanley County with 2 turnovers as well. And again, the Lady Buffaloes with the basketball as they work it across half court. Here is Austin Norman. And now a whistle and a drive. Addie Deal trying to work inside. Another foul is going to be called on Chamberlain. And it will be Whistled on Talina McBride-Wingert. That'll be her first personal, second team foul on the Cubs. And Stanley County will inbound baseline right. Here is Deal to the corner. Norman, entry pass Walker. Ball is tipped and then is stolen away. Here's Callie Randall leading the break up the floor. Gives the basketball up. Amelia Lapointe back out front and to the wing. On the left side, McBride-Wingert trying to operate. Screen and roll with Nelson. The kick out to Randall. Quick ball movement on the part of Chamberlain. Stanley County is there defensively. Now Randall will slash to the basket. They feed it inside. Shot is no good. Rebound Stanley County. And then a foul is going to be called on the Cubs. And it will be whistled on Talina McBride-Wingert. And that's personal foul number 2.
If you're the either side, you have to understand the officials are calling a tight game, only a few minutes in, and we've already got a handful of fouls. So you have to keep that in mind. When you're trying to reach in, take one away. Got to be careful. Any contact's getting called here.
Claire Connect will check in for Chamberlain. McBride-Wingert with those 2 personals goes to the bench, and here a drive and a shot up and good by Addie Deal, the sophomore with the basket. Stanley County on the board at the 5:35 mark of the quarter. It's 3-2, Chamberlain leading. As the Cubs work with the basketball, now Deal with a steal. Goes the length of the floor to the rim, layup good. Back-to-back buckets by the 5'7" sophomore. And it is 4-3 Stanley County as they have the lead here in the opening moments of this first quarter.
2 gorgeous plays from Addie Deal. 1 on the steal on that previous point, but to the bucket before. A great move going down in the lane, great ball control, and using her body to her advantage.
Chamberlain beats the basketball inside. Claire Connect loses the handle and then gets it back. Winds up on the floor, and they call her for a travel. That is 4 turnovers now for Chamberlain. And Stanley County with a 1-point lead will work with the basketball. Norman up the floor to Deal on the wing, catches a screen. Deal will drive, nowhere to go, has to force and feeds it to the corner, and the ball is tipped by Chamberlain and out of bounds. Good help defense there backside. Amelia Lapointe for Chamberlain.
Stanley County really trying to get to work in the paint. Chamberlain's going to try and work hard to avoid and to turn any of that way. Might give the Lady Buffaloes an opportunity outside.
Norman will receive the inbound, trying to feed it inside, and Jerea Walker can't hang on to it. It's tipped away. Good defense on the part of Chamberlain. Here come the Cubs. Nelson on the block. Tries to feed it back to the corner. Stanley County there. Good transition defense for them as they knock it out of bounds. And now Chamberlain will inbound it on the baseline left side.
And it was Addie Deal around the basketball again, forcing that one out, forcing Chamberlain to get reset. Addie Deal's been all over the place, keeping this one close for Stanley County in the first quarter.
Kinsey Hall into the matchup for Stanley County. Here's a 3 taken up top by Randall. It's no good. And the rebound is pulled down by Stanley County, who lead 4-3 as they bring the basketball into their front court. Here is Kinsey Hall as she will drive and fire. Shot is no good. Rebound, foul. Going to be whistled on Stanley County.
And for Kinsey Hall, a very exciting young player for this Lady Buffalo program, just an 8th grader, but shows a lot of her stuff in the early game beforehand and is going to earn a lot of minutes through some really good shooting and some quick play on her end this season.
Chamberlain with the basketball after the second team foul committed on the part of the Lady Buffaloes of Stanley County. Nearing the halfway mark of the opening quarter, 4-3 is our score. Here is Nelson down low off the glass. Shot is good. Natalie Nelson scores the basket for Chamberlain. They're back out in front now. It's 5-4.
And just a shot you could tell that Nelson has taken a million times in her life, knew exactly where she was on the floor. Perfect touch from the block to give the Cubs back the lead.
Here's Stanley County, pass inside, shot taken. It's up good. And that's Alyssa Tedder. Good ball movement by Stanley County and quick decision-making on the part of the Lady Buffalo offense. And a 30-second timeout is taken here by Stanley County. 3:47 remains in the first quarter. 6-5 Lady Buffaloes. We're back in 30 seconds on KPLO.
Xander Auto Parts, the only...
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Welcome to Bowie Foods.
Faceoffs are brought to you by Actegra. Acres Ahead maximizes your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Actegra cooperative today. 3:47 remains in the opening quarter. 6-5 Stanley County. Chris Fosheim takes the timeout, sets up a little full court pressure here to work in this opening quarter.
Wants to try to steal a possession away, and I don't blame him. As Chamberlain a bit on their heels right now.
Cubs do get the ball inside, handle the pressure well, get it down low to Natalie Nelson on the block. Natalie will draw a foul. Third team foul for Stanley County, as the personal here will be whistled on Alyssa Tedder, and that's personal foul number 2 for the 5'8 freshman.
Natalie Nelson, one of 3 juniors on this roster for Chamberlain. Certainly plays much higher and plays as a senior with the talent and one of the tallest players out there, but also just her game, you can tell, has been crafted and carved over time.
First free throw is up and good. Ties the game at 6. Here's free throw number 2. That is up good, and the lead back to Chamberlain. It's 7-6 Cubs as we work to the 3.5-minute mark left in this opening quarter. Stanley County across half court. Hall working with it back to the top of the key. With it is Laney Masteller. Now Austin Norman with it. Entry pass high post. This is Deal off the free throw lane. Shot up no good. Rebound pulled down by Kinsey Hall. And now a bad cross-court pass, and it's stolen away. Chamberlain with the steal, going the length of the floor. And missing the layup was Amelia LaPointe, but Claire Connect was there to grab the loose basketball, and she puts it up and in. Now a 3-point lead for Chamberlain at 9-6. As Stanley County will work with it. Entry pass inside, Jerea Walker. She will draw a foul. I believe that's on Natalie Nelson, and if it is, that's personal foul number 2.
Not sure how much success Stanley County is going to be able to find trying to force the ball down into the paint. But they keep trying it. They keep wanting to exploit that. There's not much room down there.
Pass inside Walker. Point blank range. Shot is no good. Rebound tipped around. Stanley County touches it last as it goes out of bounds. It will be Chamberlain basketball. And again, Stanley County will set up that full court pressure. Randall up the floor. Nelson, and then a bump and a foul. And that's number 2 on Jerea Walker.
Got a little bit too aggressive trying to feed up to that pass coming from Callie Randall up the floor. Walker just trying to generate a steal. Got tagged with the contact. Got to be careful still in the first quarter. Can't be piling up fouls, especially when you're tasked with covering Natalie Nelson down low.
Pass inside Nelson once again. Ball tipped free. Callie Randall grabs the loose basketball for a moment, but Chamberlain does wind up turning it over, and here comes Stanley County. 9-6, Chamberlain leading. 2.5 minutes remain in the quarter. Here is Hall for 3, and that is good. Kinsey Hall from downtown, and it is 9-9, and that's what you can do off the bench for Kinsey Hall.
Absolutely earning herself more minutes with that shot alone. We told you she's a good shooter from the outside. Can't give her much space on the wing like they did there.
Callie Randall does a good job breaking pressure. And then going up the left sideline, she goes right to the rim and draws a foul. She will get free throws. Another foul for Stanley County, this time the first on Austin Norman, and it's team foul number 5 against the Lady Buffaloes.
And as these two teams trade buckets up and down the floor, this could be where the game's won at the free throw line. And, well, Callie Randall missing the first missed free throw of the evening either side. You've got to hit your free throws. You want to stay close in these games. Got to make sure those free throw percentages are up there in the 80 to 90% range.
Second free throw is up and good by Callie Randall. That makes it a 10-9 lead for Chamberlain once again, as Stanley County brings the basketball into their front court. 2 minutes remain in the quarter. Deal on the high post, tries to feed to the corner. Stanley County just trying to move the basketball quickly. And you talked a little bit earlier about the defense of Chamberlain and maybe Stanley County not going to be able to pound the ball inside, but I think what they're wanting to do is get it in and then kick it back out and try to get somebody open on the perimeter. They turn it over there, and here is Chamberlain the other way. They break pressure and score a basket. That is Amelia LaPointe scoring the basket for Chamberlain.
Get a whistle here for a travel called against Ryan Bothwell, but the other point about that, Darren, is yes, you want to get it in to kick it back out. The problem is Chamberlain is so strong underneath; they're able to force those steals, taking away any opportunity for Stanley County to even kick it out.
Sage Gruber into the matchup for Stanley County. Also, Ryan Bothwell, as Justin mentioned, into the contest a moment ago. She is another 8th grader for this Stanley County squad. Pass inside, the turnaround up and good by Natalie Nelson. She will score the basket and has 6 points. 14-9 as Chamberlain enjoys their biggest lead of the contest. A 5-point advantage. They've led by 3 on a couple different occasions. And here's Addie Deal trying to answer. Shot no good there, but the offensive rebound picked up and put in by Kinsey Hall. That's 5 points off the bench for Kinsey Hall. It makes it 14-11.
I think that was Ryan Bothwell actually on the putback there. They do look very similar, but good thing for Bothwell. Caught it quick and put it back up. No time to think about it as Chamberlain's called for an offensive foul down here on the floor.
And that's Natalie Nelson. And if they call it on her, she pushed off on the block, and that is personal foul number 3 for Natalie Nelson. And that will definitely change the way Chamberlain approaches things, especially on the defensive end here in the remainder of not only the first quarter, but a big chunk of quarter number 2 probably as well.
Well, we talked about the size advantage that Chamberlain had on Stanley County, and one of those was Natalie Nelson now having to retire to the bench with those 3 personal fouls.
Here is a 3 take, and that is up good. That is Kinsey Hall, and she has 6 points here in this first quarter. 14-13, Chamberlain by 1 as time winds down in the quarter. Randall with the dribble, sends it now to the left side. Claire Connect back out front as Chamberlain looks a little discombobulated offensively. Randall will force inside. Shot is blocked. Chamberlain grabs the loose basketball. The shot clock was not reset. 3 taken. Chamberlain will get the rebound and send it back out. Left side, Claire Connect drops the jumper, and it is 16-13 and an offensive flurry for both of these teams here in the opening quarter. Now Chamberlain defensively tries to press. Shot taken by Kinsey Hall as time winds down in the quarter. That is no good. And that brings us to the end of quarter number 1. 16-13 is our score as Chamberlain has the lead. Scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. Great year-end deals during my annual inventory reduction event. Check out all the latest information at darrenboylesales.com. We'll take a 60-second break and return. This is regional high school basketball from KPLO.
At Oasis Plaza. My great-grandfather, Gus Bowie, opened the first store in 1905. I'm RF Bowie, the president of Bowie Foods. We aren't your typical store. You'll find everything you need for your family. You'll save money, and I promise you're going to enjoy your grocery shopping experience. We carry a lot of locally produced products and some things you just aren't going to find anywhere else. South Dakota owned, family owned, Bowie Foods.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
Being a part of a community means
highway safety. KPLO 94.5 Reliance Chamberlain, 100.5 Pierre Fort Pierre. Be safe, drive smart.
16-13 our score as Stanley County has the basketball as we start the second quarter. John Neff with DRG Media Group's World Headquarters. Alongside Justin Coward, I'm Darren Boyle. Shot by Bothwell, no good. Offensive rebound. Here is Norman for 3. That shot won't go down. They tip the basketball out of bounds. It belongs to Chamberlain. First 8 minutes for basketball for both of these teams. I think the coaches have to be happy with how things got up and down.
Well, we're seeing a lot of offense, just period, from both sides. And, these officials are calling a tight game, calling it tight both ways. And you saw on that last possession with Stanley County able to get a couple offensive rebounds. The missing piece that is Natalie Nelson, and then Chamberlain, like you said in the first quarter, looking a little discombobulated on offense, turns it over here in the first 30 seconds on their first possession. So I would say upper hand, even though they're trailing by 3, might be Stanley County with the momentum.
Rory Hickey in the contest. She's called for a travel. That will be turnover number 6 for Chamberlain in this first half, and Stanley County with another chance. Here is Norman back around the perimeter, gives it up to Hall. Norman will get it back. Now it is Hall. Tries to screen and roll, but defended well by Chamberlain. Here's Norman on the perimeter right side. Three is taken. That is up no good. Kept alive by Stanley County, but into the hands of Chamberlain. And here comes Callie Randall up the left sideline and to the wing on the left side. Will get shut off by the Stanley County defense. They'll feed it to the right side, and three is taken by Talina McBride Wingert. That shot is no good. Rebound battled for out of bounds off of Stanley County, and it will belong to Chamberlain, who will inbound with 21 on the shot clock.
Nice play by Austin Norman, trying to save that and incidentally threw it off the foot of Jesse Fosheim, but Stanley County showing some good coverage.
Three taken. That is up and no good for Chamberlain. Claire Connect with the 3-point miss. Norman with the basketball now for Stanley County off of the Lady Buffalo rebound. They cross half court. Here is Kinsey Hall. Back to the high post. Ball in the hands of Hannah Tedder. Now Norman trying to operate, but good man-to-man defense being employed by Chamberlain. Here is a drive. Jesse Foshan. Pass inside. It's tied up, and a jump ball. Possession arrow will point towards Chamberlain, and that will work as a turnover for the Lady Buffaloes. That's number 7 on the night.
How impressive is Chamberlain's defense with their ability to just give zero space to any offensive player for Stanley County when they have the basketball. They are around them, surrounding them like gnats. They give them no room to breathe. Very impressive defense.
And several times in this first half, they switched off very well, too, off of screens and different plays and what have you. So it's been a team effort on the defensive side of the ball for Chamberlain.
And give a lot of credit to Zach Nelson, their head coach, for facilitating some of that communication between the Cubs.
Talina McBride Wingert tries a jumper from the top of the key. That shot partially blocked, but a foul called. It will be on Hannah Tedder. That will be her first. And it will be the first foul of the quarter for Stanley County. McBride Wingert shooting 2, and the first one is off the back iron and no good. 5:56 remains until the halftime break. It is a 16-13 score. Here is the second free throw. That one is up and no good. Rebound loose and out of bounds off of Stanley County, and Chamberlain will get another opportunity on the offensive side of the ball.
Just a bad break for Hannah Tedder, who had her hands on it, lost control there at the end. Chamberlain gets bailed out after 2 missed free throws.
Alyssa Tedder, checks into the contest. Here's McBride Wingert off the inbound, and a 3 is up good. Talina McBride Wingert. Maybe she should try the free throws from behind the arc as she puts it down for her first basket of the night. 19-13. Stanley County with a 6-point lead, and now a whistle and a traveling violation is going to be called on Stanley County. Although a turnover here, what I like to see is these perimeter players for Stanley County, the guards, when they see a lane, they have been attacking the basket since the opening tip, and that's good to see.
And Deal just trying to keep that right foot up in the air for as long as she could. But you're right, as McBride Wingert knocks down another nice shot off the glass from the free throw line. She's getting going. But yes, to your point, Lady Buffaloes are trying to attack the lane with some of their faster guards, and it's been paying off.
2 quick baskets for Chamberlain to start this second quarter. Here's a 3-point try by Kinsey Hall that is no good. Rebound Stanley County, though, as Hall ran the play down. And here's Melissa Tedder from the corner. She knocks a jumper down. And that's the first points for Stanley County in the second quarter. And now a turnover on Chamberlain as the Cubs lose the basketball after they inbounded it. And Stanley County score that as a defensive stop, and now they'll inbound underneath their own basket, and the shot is good, and that's Addie Deal. She has scored a half dozen, 21-17, and a quick little 2-basket run for Stanley County gets them right back into it. Here's Chamberlain again, breaking pressure. Randall to the rim, shot is no good. Rebound battled for, tied up. Jump ball will belong to the Lady Buffalo.
Well, a couple nice plays there in that stretch and sequence. Mainly Alyssa Tedder with a nice jumper along the baseline. One thing I've liked about her game tonight, she shows no fear. Even just being a freshman, still not scared to go take it to the rack. And Addie Deal, it's, we were kind of curious, who is the heartbeat of this team going to be in this 2025 season? Well, in the early going, it's been Addie Deal. Her plays kept the Lady Buffaloes in this thing.
Jerea Walker back in for Stanley County. She'll handle top of the key. They swing to the wing. Now it's Norman. Tipped basketball. Walker will track it down. 19 on the shot clock for Stanley County. Inside Ketter. Kick out Norman. 3 is taken. It's off the iron and no good. And Callie Randall will come away with the rebound. Chamberlain will try to run as they push it up the right sideline. Entry pass inside. Rory Hickey back out front to Randall. 3 taken. It's no good. Offensive rebound, Chamberlain on a second chance for them. McBride Wingert, 3 ball, good.
Busted
Delina
coverage.
McBride Wingert from downtown.
Busted defense for Stanley County. Alyssa Tedder lost pretty much the last person you can lose, and that's McBride Wingert. And she was wide open for a 3. She's not going to miss many wide open looks like that, Darren.
Addie Deal tries a 3 from up top for Stanley County. Rebound for the Lady Buffaloes. Here's Walker. Back around the perimeter. Austin Norman tries to feed inside. Ball is tipped and stolen away. Turnover of Stanley County. Chamberlain gets away with a double dribble as they cross half court. Randall with the basketball on the left side. Entry pass inside. Nobody home as the ball goes out of bounds. You're scoring at home. 8 turnovers for Chamberlain. 9 turnovers for Stanley County. And again, a turnover number, I think, for both teams with the pace that we've had here. You can live with those types of numbers as you get up and down here. Both teams have been fairly efficient offensively as far as scoring points.
Well, most of the turnovers for Stanley County come when they're trying to feed it inside, and all those hands, great handwork from Chamberlain, which we just see here on this ensuing possession. But Stanley County has not found much success trying to force it inside to the paint where Chamberlain's been locking it down defensively.
Chamberlain's hands have been quick as far as knocking the basketball out of bounds. They made that play there, and now a timeout taken. This is Stanley County taking the timeout, full timeout with 3:05 remaining in the first half. 24-17 Chamberlain. We're back in 1 minute on KPLO.
For reliable future of the people all around you. For 115 years, First Fidelity Bank has been doing just that, helping you get the most out of life by providing the services and tools you need, the conveniences and technology you want, and the friendly faces you expect. So you get everything you need right here in the place you call home. Now and for many years to come. First Fidelity Bank.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
Pests don't wait.
We were 16-13. Chamberlain led at the end of the opening quarter. It is now 24-17 Cubs as we are in the bottom half of quarter number 2. Both teams are starting to get into rhythm here as far as their offense is concerned.
Delina McBride Wingert, that's the 3 words I got for you. She has been on fire here in the second frame for Chamberlain, helping stretch out this lead. But don't count out Stanley County. They got some shooters, including this one in Kinsey Hall, who just misses it off the glass. But Stanley County can score some points quickly as well.
Ball goes to the rack. Shot is no good. She battles to get her own rebound. They will call a jump ball as she got tied up with Callie Randall. And the ball will belong to Chamberlain on the offense, alternating possession. 2-2-1 trapping pressure employed by Stanley County here. But Chamberlain again handles it pretty well as they bring it across half court. It is Randall with it as they give it up. Randall will get it back. Now pass to the high post. Rory Hickey. Quick ball movement on the part of Chamberlain. They work it back around a 3 take, and that is up and no good. That is Claire Connect, and the rebound pulled down by Stanley County. 2:25 remains in the half. 24-17. The lead belongs to Chamberlain. And here is Stanley County with the basketball. Hall is bumped and a foul call. Tried to pass from the left side to the right, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Chamberlain. The 8th grader Rory Hickey with her first foul of the quarter for Chamberlain. He talked about the number of fouls and how tight the officials called it. The girls have adjusted well here in this second quarter.
Well, I think they know what they can get away with and what they have to be careful with, and we're seeing that.
Addie Deal floating to the rim. Shot is good. Basket will count, and a foul is called.
Great touch from Addie Deal, flying underneath the hoop with the assisted push from behind. Just perfectly places that one to creep over the front of the rim. Draws the foul, gets the end one, can make it a 3-point play. First free throw of the night for Stanley County.
Lania Pease with the personal and the end one for Addie Deal, and it is off the rim and no good. Would not have counted as she went over the line when she attempted the free throw. But the basket good. 2 points for Stanley County. 24-19. Chamberlain leading by 5 as we approach the 2-minute mark in the quarter. There is a good trap set by Stanley County, and then Callie Randall stepped out of bounds. Just got that one step, but they called the blocking foul on Stanley County. It will be whistled on Alyssa Tedder. That will be her third personal foul. So she joins the foul brigade as she goes to the bench and picks up her third. Natalie Nelson with 3 personal fouls, all of them in the first quarter. We have not seen her in the second period. And now a drive and a whistle and a foul is going to be called this time on Chamberlain, I believe. Or will it be? No, it's going to be against Stanley County.
Yeah, they're going to get Addie Deal along the baseline with an illegal block.
I thought she got away with the steal and then was fouled afterwards. But anyway, the foul on Stanley County, their third of the quarter. And now Chamberlain will work with it. Point blank shot inside, no good. Rebound Chamberlain. Here's Randall for 3. That shot won't go down. And now Chamberlain will give up the rebound to Stanley County. And here come the Lady Buffaloes as they try to push across half court. Austin Norman with it. As they go to the wing left side, Norman gives it up. Jerea Walker. Now Addie Deal. It comes off her forehead, but she makes the catch, fires the 3. Shot is no good. Rebound out of bounds. I believe it will stay with Stanley County, and they will inbound it from deep in the right corner.
Chamberlain on the offensive side is getting a lot more looks from outside. They're not hitting as many shots as I think they would like, but you have to imagine with the Lady Cubs, as they get more and more of those looks, they're going to start to fall. So Stanley County is going to have to keep up offensively, see if they can get some points on this possession.
Claire Connect out. Talina McBride Wingert in for Chamberlain. Here is Norman for 3 for Stanley County at the inbound. Shot is no good. Rebound Chamberlain. Foul called on Stanley County. That's on Addie Deal, and that's personal foul number 2 for her. Wrong place and the wrong time for Addie as she picks up her second foul.
Crashing in a little bit too physical. She heads to the bench.
4 team fouls now for Stanley County. Minute 17 remains in the half. Stanley County will continue to try to press, and now they do force a turnover. Callie Randall trying to break a double team, steps on the sideline and turns it over. And that is turnover number 9 for Chamberlain.
With Addie Deal checking out, Ryan Bothwell comes in. She and Kinsey Hall have been a really good kind of 2-girl duo up at the top defensively, and it paid off again there, forcing Randall to step out of bounds.
All with the basketball. Now Norman at the point. As they swing it to the right side, Bothwell on the move, tries to run off of a screen and is bottled up, gives up the dribble. Now they'll try to feed it to Jerea Walker, in the pass too tall and out of bounds. And Stanley County with 10 turnovers in this first half of basketball. 24-19, Chamberlain leading. Cubs have the basketball as they inbound. Again, full court pressure employed by Stanley County. Chamberlain working with it. And just as we get to about the 10-second count, I don't know if Randall would have made it, but got bailed out there as a foul is called on Stanley County. And that's on Kinsey Hall, and that's her first. And I think if she would have just let her go, I don't think she'd have made it across before the 10-second count.
It was going to be close thanks to some pestering by Kinsey Hall, but what it does is sends one of the better free throw shooters and Callie Randall to the line for 2.
Puts the first one up and good. Randall with 5 points in this first half, 25-19. The Chamberlain lead is at 6. Both teams have led in this first half. Chamberlain has led for the most part. Free throw number 2 up and good by Randall. Chamberlain has done a good job as they are 5 of 8 from the free throw line in this first half. 26-19. As Stanley County will inbound and work across half court. Lainey Masteller back into the contest after the made free throw. Foul on the perimeter. Or is the ball knocked out of bounds? It's knocked out of bounds. It will belong to Stanley County.
It was actually a foul called on Talina McBride Winger. I think you see that a little bit when your team starts to earn a little bit of momentum. You start to play a little bit more physical, try to build on top of that momentum, and McBride Winger just gets called for being a little bit too physical on the reach out.
And that's her third personal foul. So Chamberlain has 2 players with 3 fouls. We'll see how that changes things here in the second half. Stanley County with an entry pass that is tipped and stolen away. Chamberlain still continues to play good defense as they roll it around the perimeter. Shot clock off, but doesn't matter for Chamberlain. They'll try a 3 from deep. That is Sage Gruber. Shot is no good. Another offensive rebound for Chamberlain, and then a foul is going to be called on Stanley County. And that is going to be the 3rd personal foul whistled on Jorea Walker. And to the free throw line for Chamberlain, this is Rory Hickey. The 8th grader has played some nice minutes for Chamberlain in this first half. First of 2 is up good.
We said the battle at the free throw line was going to be important. I think the battle of just getting to the free throw line is what B decides this game. Stanley County only been to the stripe once, and that was on an Addy deal and 1. This is the 10th free throw coming for Chamberlain.
Second free throw is up and good by Rory Hickey. And when you're getting a chance to go to the free throw line, you can knock the free throws down. We talked about Chamberlain's good free throw shooting percentage. That really makes a difference. They have done well in this first half. Final seconds of quarter number 2. Here the drive by Hall. Kinsey has a shot blocked. Rebound picked up by Chamberlain. Here's Rory Hickey. The kick out, the 3 taken. That shot is blocked. All with a great defensive play in transition. And that brings us to the end of the first half. Scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. I've got great year-end deals during my annual inventory reduction event. Check out all the latest information at DarrenBoyleSales.com. Halftime report from Buy Right Seat is next. We're back in 3 minutes on KPLO.
With our top-performing seed, innovative digital tools, and expanded agronomic support.
At Olson's Pest Technicians, we've been protecting homes and businesses for over 55 years. From bats and attics to rodents and walls, ants in kitchens, stubborn bedbug infestations, even swarms of mosquitoes. We've seen it all, and we handle it all. With expert technicians, ethical treatments, and service across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, you can count on Olson's to get the job done right. Contact us today at Olson's Pest Technicians. Family owned, community trusted.
Do you want to join one of the oldest established organizations in Fort Pierre? Perhaps you are more interested in protecting the future. Whatever your position, the Fort Pierre Volunteer Fire Department is for you. We are responsible for fire protection in Fort Pierre and Stanley County. Become part of this amazing team by stopping down at the fire hall and discussing enrollment. We are not just limited to adults, as we have a new cadet program for students ages 14 to 18. For more information, click on our banner ad on the homepage. From everyone at the fire hall, go Buffs!
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Those 28-19 is our halftime score. Chamberlain with a 12-point.
Being a part of a community means sharing the history and future of the people.
Dozen points in that second frame as Chamberlain, who has led for the most part, has been able to extend the advantage to 9 here at intermission.
Well, it's been a good game played from both sides, but what you started to see in that first half as it developed was Chamberlain get more and more outside looks that were open. Stanley County in the early going did a nice job with transition defense. They were covering up their offensive assignments well. However, Chamberlain just started to find more and more open looks, and especially Talina McBride Winger, who started to hit some shots from the outside. Her first shot of the evening was an airballed 3, and it was maybe like she had a little bit of nerves. Those wore off very quickly. She knocked down a quick 3, had a nice putback, had another long shot there in the second quarter. And, we talked about it a little bit, but it has been the free throw differential, as Stanley County has only been to the line once on an and 1 from Addie Deal. They're 0 from 1 from the line. It's Chamberlain, who is 7 of 10 from the free throw line tonight. So they're getting to the line and they're taking advantage of their opportunities once they get to the charity stripe, and a huge reason why it is a 9-point advantage for Chamberlain right now.
Quickly, individual scoring for Stanley County. A very balanced attack. Addie Deal with 8 points. Kinsey Hall off the bench with a pair of 3. She has scored 6. Alessa Teta with 4. Ryan Bothwell with 2. And a total of 19 for Stanley County. As we mentioned, 0 of 1 from the free throw line in the first half. They committed 11 turnovers in the first 16 minutes of the season. For Chamberlain, Talina McBride Wingard with 8 points. Callie Randall, Natalie Nelson both with 6. 4 for Claire Connect, 2 for Rory Hickey, and Amelia LaPointe with 2 points in the ball game for Chamberlain. They have 28 here at the half. They went to the free throw line 10 times and made 7 of them. And the Cubs with 9 turnovers in the first half. I have a trivia question for you.
You said you might be able to stump me in the pregame. Let's see what it is.
I've got you stumped right now. Who is the first team in Class A girls basketball to win a game this season? I know.
Do you know?
No, you can't look at the computer because I am.
I could tell you who lost it.
It was West Central, 81-29. They have already defeated Baltic this evening. Belfouche, 39-14, leading Lead Deadwood. That game is in the fourth quarter. At halftime, 21-13, Trip Delmont Armour leading Hanson. Just a few of the scores. There are several across central South Dakota, around the area. A lot of teams getting their season underway here tonight.
And make sure you stay tuned to the local sports page at drgnews.com, as we'll have all the final scores from around the state for you.
I didn't do any research getting ready for tonight's game about this point, and maybe you can help me because I'm losing hope with the Vikings. Who do they play this Sunday?
The Vikings this Sunday, I believe they've got a big divisional game coming up with the Packers, but I could be completely wrong.
So probably at noon. No, they got the Cowboys.
Oh, that's right. They've got the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, isn't it?
Sunday Night Football. Cowboys.
On KMLO and KPLO.
Yes. Shortly after 7 o'clock with the kickoff. 6 o'clock with the pregame right here on KPLO. And it's 28-19. That's our halftime score. Chamberlain with the lead, and it will be Stanley County who will start with the basketball when we get the second half underway. That's been our halftime from the folks in Buy Right Seed. We're back in 3 minutes on KPLO.
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
Farmco is your source for full-service feed, Pioneer Seed, animal health, farming and ranching equipment. Serving the Midwest, and better yet, we are locally owned and operated. When you work with Farmco, we take the time to learn your operation and use the latest technology to help you grow your bottom line. We've built our business on serving you, our customers. Get to know Farmco in Chamberlain, Kimball, Platte, and Winter. Proud sponsor of our high school athletes. Visit us at farmcosd.com.
When you are busy taking in all the area school activities, remember you'll find one stop with more to offer. You guessed it, the West 40 Food and Fuel in Ocoma. We have what you want right at I-90 exit 260, including Arby's for quality quick food options. You'll like our large selection of beverages and snacks in our West 40 C-store. Need a car wash? We have one of the best. We are proud to support our area young people, educators, and parents who make our schools great. Go Chamberlain Cubs from your fans at the West 40 Food and Fuel in Ocoma.
The Stanley County Booster Club invites any and all adults wanting to show support for the students of Stanley County to join them. They support all student events and activities and meet the first Monday of each month at 6:30. They post the location on their Facebook page each month. Follow them for updates throughout the year and be sure to check out the SC Buff Gear site. A link is also on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC. Access Health Chamberlain welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluation for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports physicals. Same-day appointments are available and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes. From Access Health Chamberlain, assuring access to quality health care.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, KPLO 94.5 Reliance Chamberlain, 100.5 Pier Fort Pier. Leave sooner, drive slower, live longer.
28-19 is our halftime score. Here's one more score from the Class B ranks that makes you go, about the preseason polls. Halftime in Parkston, Freeman leading Parkston. That's a 22-19 score. Freeman has been, as we've been looking at scores as we go through the broadcast here this evening, Freeman has been out in front of Parkston, a team that I think is going to be a team that's going to compete, be definitely in the mix for the State B title.
Well, Freeman's had a pretty good season athletic-wise, or I guess I should say good year athletic-wise, so why not let it carry over into girls basketball this year?
One more thing to touch on with Chamberlain and Stanley County here. Players with 3 personal fouls. Talina McBride-Wingert with 3 personals. She left late in the second quarter. Natalie Nelson with 3 personal fouls in the opening period. She set for the entire second quarter. As Elisa Tedder and Jorea Walker both with 3 for Stanley County as we get the second half underway. Here is Norman. Entry pass down low. Whistle foul. It's going to be whistled on Chamberlain. Amelia Lapointe with her first personal foul. And it will be team foul number 1 early here in this third quarter. 28-19 is our score as Stanley County will inbound baseline right. Pass out to Laney Masteller. Top of the key, Jorea Walker. Down low, Addie Deal in the paint. Puts the shot up short. Stanley County crashes the boards, but Chamberlain will come away with it. And here is Callie Randall up the sideline to the corner. Wingert. 3 ball is up and no good. Rebound Stanley County. Remains 28-19. Both teams with the possession here in this third quarter. John Neff is at DRG Media Group's world headquarters, and alongside Justin Coward, I'm Darren Boyle. Thank you for joining us tonight on air or online on the KPLO page at drgnews.com. Here is Walker on the move to the rim. Shot is up good. Jorea Walker with her first points of the season. 28-21, and Stanley County scores first here in quarter number 3. Up the floor, McBride-Wingert. Chamberlain breaks pressure. She'll try to go to the rim. Is bottled up, so tries a bounce pass across the lane. Nobody was ready, and the ball goes out of bounds. And Chamberlain in the double figures with turnovers. They just committed their 10th of the night.
Good start to the second half for Stanley County, coming out, getting the first bucket between the two, and then forcing a turnover on the very next possession. Exactly the start that they needed.
Chamberlain extending their defense a little bit as they pick up man-to-man three-quarter court. Screen and roll Stanley County, but missing the shot, Alyssa Tedder. Chamberlain will come away with the rebound. And here is Randall up the left sideline. She'll swing to the top of the key, now to the right, and reset the offense. McBride-Wingert will work at the top of the key. Austin Norman defensively with a man-to-man. They float to the left side. Then Norman steals the basketball away. Another turnover for Chamberlain and Stanley County with good defense here in this third quarter. Norman with the dribble across half court. Right side deal on the wing. Now to the elbow and swings it back out front. And back to the perimeter. Tedder, Norman. Now into the hands of Lainey Masteller as she gives it up to Jerea Walker. And here's Addie Deal with the three taken, and it's good. Addie Deal in double figures now with 11 points for Stanley County. And the Lady Buffaloes score the first 5 of the second half and now trail by 4. Here's Chamberlain inside, entry pass, ball tipped and out of bounds. And a little bit of a surprise, but right now, as Chamberlain with Natalie Nelson with those 3 personal fouls did not start here in this second half.
They've got Nelson down on the floor now. This is probably their key lineup, but they're definitely going to need it if they want Nelson out there to kind of stave off this momentous push to start the second half for Stanley County.
Nelson will handle at the elbow. Shot taken by Randall. It's blocked by Stanley County. Ball will go out of bounds harmlessly. It will remain with Chamberlain, and now Nelson will set up as she will inbound from the baseline. 11 to shoot for Chamberlain. The inbounds will come to the point. Now Nelson baseline right. Kick out to Randall. She will drive. Entry pass. Nice pass. Shot no good. Offensive rebound, though, by Chamberlain. That's Amelia the point as she scores the basket. 30-24 now. And Chamberlain scores their first points in the second half. It's a 6-point lead for the Cubs as Stanley County will operate with it. This is Austin Norman on the wing right side. Now back out front and around the perimeter. Deal to the left, catches a screen, drives to the top of the key, and now goes to the rim, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound, Natalie Nelson. And here comes Chamberlain as they bring the basketball across half court. 4:40 remains in the third. It is 30-24. And then Chamberlain throws the basketball away, and that is another turnover. 3 of them for the Cubs here in this third quarter so far.
A bit of an uncharacteristic start here in the third quarter for Zach Nelson's team. Some sloppy plays, some turnovers, and Stanley County, to their credit, has taken advantage of it. Chamberlain just needs to settle in a little bit. They're going to get the benefit of some good press defense there shown by Amelia LaPointe, forcing Austin Norman to step out.
This is a new wrinkle to the Chamberlain defensive repertoire, if you will. Normally, you don't see them play much pressure defense, but a good opportunity there and pressure. Austin Norman steps out of bounds. Turnover Stanley County, and here's Chamberlain working with it. Inside, McBride Wingard hits the rebound off of a Natalie Nelson miss, and a foul is going to be called on Stanley County, and it will be on Austin Norman, and that will be her second.
Getting back to the basics for Chamberlain. They know they're good in the paint. Another nice rebound there by McBride Wingard, forcing the foul.
Here's Callie Randall off the inbounds. 3 is taken. It's up no good. Rebound to Stanley County, and then quickly full court man pressure employed, and Chamberlain will force the tempo, and here is Stanley County, and leaving Kinsey Hall open is not a good plan, and the 3 is taken, and it's up good. That's her third 3. Just a 2, pardon me. It's 30-26, and now Chamberlain turns it over, and then Stanley County will give it right back. Up the floor, McBride Wingard. Behind the arc, fakes and drives. Randall to the rim. Floater there is up no good. Rebound pulled down by Stanley County. Here is Hall on the open floor. Hall to the rim with the left hand, goes to the rim and draws the foul. You do not see that every day.
Oh, just 5'3", Kinsey Hall going into the trees. He kind of gets a little bit out of control, but she draws the foul, and that will work. And she can cut this to a 1-possession game if she's good.
Draws the 4th foul on Talina McBride Wingard. Sorry about that.
No worries. Just want to say it's important to hit these free throws, but she misses the first. Few opportunities for Stanley County from the line tonight. Got to take advantage.
Stanley County with just their 3rd free throw attempt upcoming here in the ballgame. They were 0-1 in the first half. Hall misses the first, gets ready to take the second, and it is up, and it is good. 30-27, and now a whistle and substitutions. Addie Deal will check out for the moment. And for Stanley County, Jesse Posheim checks back in. She saw action earlier in the first half. 30-27. Chamberlain leading, and they will break pressure and score the basket. This is Rory Hickey, another 8th grader. We've talked about Stanley County youth movement. Rory Hickey playing some good basketball in her moments for Chamberlain in this ball game as well. Here is Fosheim, from the right elbow. Shot is too strong. Chamberlain with the rebound. They'll push it across half court. Working to 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, 32-27. Here's Randall from the top of the key to the left wing. Ball tipped. Chamberlain will keep possession. Shot clock at 15. Randall will drive, sends it to the corner. Entry pass down low. And the shot taken there, that is short. That is Rory Hickey. And the rebound pulled down by Chamberlain, or by Stanley County, and good interior defense for the Lady Buffaloes that time. 32-27. Chamberlain leading by 5. Here is a 3. That is up no good by Austin Norman. And the ball goes out of bounds. Nobody touched it. It's off of Stanley County and will belong to the Cubs.
I think if you had asked Chris Fosheim, with 2:37 remaining in the third quarter, your team's going to be trailing by 5. If he would take it, I think you would say absolutely. This team is sticking around, just hanging tough, taking advantage of their opportunities when they find them. And it feels like Chamberlain should be leading this game by 10, even 15 points right now, but we've got a 5-point deficit.
Lania Pease checks into the contest for Chamberlain. And if they work with it offensively, shot is taken. It is up no good. Rebound, Natalie Nelson, strong in the paint. She'll get the offensive rebound and put it up and in. She scored 6 early for Chamberlain, but with that foul trouble, had to set for all of the second quarter. And did not start in the third, but gets the basket there. She has 8 points in the contest. It's 34-27. We are inside of 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Norman from up top. Jumper is off glass and no good, and the rebound pulled down by Chamberlain. After Stanley County cut the deficit to 3, it has been Chamberlain that's opened it back up again. A 7-point lead now for the Cubs. And a shot inside by Nelson is up and no good. Stanley County will get the rebound. Minute 35 remains in the third quarter. We have got up and down and have moved well in this contest. Good pace of game for both of these teams in my mind. It's 34-27. Chamberlain leading. Shot clock at 15 for Stanley County. Here is Fosheim left open. Long jumper taken. It's up no good. Nelson with the rebound for Chamberlain. Cubs will go the other way. Randall will drive, gets to the left wing. Nobody picks her up. Now the defense comes. She gives up the basketball. Back around the perimeter. It comes back to Randall, who tries a 3. That shot is no good. Rebound, Chamberlain. Pease can't put it home. Natalie Nelson gets the rebound. She'll put it up and in. The basket will count, and a foul is going to be called on Stanley County.
Natalie Nelson showing you how important she is to this rotation for Chamberlain. Seems when she was out of the game, that's when Stanley County was able to keep this thing close. When she checks back in, boom, back to just about a 10-point lead. Natalie Nelson able to make this double-digit deficit for Stanley County if she can knock these free throws down.
Back-to-back buckets for Nelson. She was 2 of 2 from the line in the first half, and a line drive free throw is up and good to keep her string perfect. 37-27. Chamberlain with their biggest lead of the night inside of a minute remaining in the third quarter. Here is a drive taken. That is up no good by Kinsey Hall. Rebound pulled down by the Cubs, and we'll see if they slow the pace here just a little bit as Randall will drive. Now it is Pease. Back to Randall. Around the perimeter they go. Down low. This is Rory Hickey. Now they'll feed it inside. And Lania Pease will get the offensive rebound. And she'll put it up and in. That's her first basket of the night. 39-27. This has been a nice scoring run. Close to a... but it would be a 7-point scoring run for Chamberlain.
About a 9-point run at this point.
I lost track, and I want to keep my shoes on, so I haven't been able to count that far. Here is a shot inside. It's up good. Basket's going to count. Stanley County will answer. That's Kinsey Hall on the inside. She'll put it up and in. The basket will count. And that's a basket that Stanley County needed as time winds down in the quarter. And a foul is going to be called on Chamberlain, and it will be the first on Claire Connect.
Yeah, an important basket for Kinsey Hall there to stop the bleeding, but you're starting to see where the rebounding proficiency's paying off for Chamberlain, mainly Natalie Nelson. That's where the scoring run has come from, off of these great offensive and defensive boards.
Free throw is again no good. Rebound Chamberlain up the floor, and they cannot get a shot off, and the third quarter will come to an end, but a very productive quarter for the Chamberlain Cubs. They have extended the lead to 10. It is 39-29 as we go to the fourth quarter. Scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. Check out the large selection of new and used farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page. Shop online anytime at DarrenBoyleSales.com. We go to the fourth in 1 minute on KPLO.
For 115 years, First Fidelity Bank has been doing just that, helping you get the most out of life by providing the services and tools you need, the conveniences and technology you want, and the friendly faces you expect. So you get everything you need right here in the place you call home. Now and for many years to come. First Fidelity Bank.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
Pests don't wait.
SIPC.
39-29 is our score as we go to the fourth quarter. Chamberlain with a 10-point lead. They will start out with the basketball here in this final period. Lania Pease, entry pass, Natalie Nelson, turnaround up good. And as the fouls start to add up for both of these teams, especially, I think, on the Stanley County side of the ball, Nelson's going to be able to do some damage on the inside.
Well, we're seeing her impose her will down low, along with a nice play from Linnea Pease. These two have been outstanding in the paint for Chamberlain to help add this lead.
Stanley County turnover. Chamberlain can't finish at their end. Lady Buffaloes get the rebound, and then a foul is called. It will be on Pease, and that will be her first personal foul. And it will be, your second personal foul, first foul of the quarter for Stanley County, or for Chamberlain, pardon me. Getting colder up here all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, well, when we went down to mingle with the folks, it was about 5-10 degrees warmer down there. Just getting us prepped for a long season ahead.
Stanley County with a miss, but they'll get the offensive rebound, and they work with it on the perimeter. A minute gone in the fourth quarter. It is 41-29 Chamberlain. Entry pass inside, and this is Alessa Tedder, and she is bumped and a foul is called. Lania Pease being active, but with that picks up her third personal foul. Shot clock will be reset for the Lady Buffaloes as they'll inbound it from the left side of the key. It will be Tedder who will trigger the inbound. Kinsey Hall, Addie Deal, Jerea Walker, and also Ryan Bothwell on the floor. Here is Walker for three. Shot is no good. Rebound is loose, and it's out of bounds. It will belong to Chamberlain. Cubs with Amelia Lapointe, Callie Randall, Natalie Nelson, Lania Pease, and also out there the eighth grader Rory Hickey as we work here in the fourth quarter. 12-point lead for Chamberlain. High post Pease back around the perimeter. They'll play catch and an entry pass here and a timeout taken by Chamberlain. Cubs use their first timeout of the ball game. It comes with 6:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 41-29 Chamberlain. This is a full timeout. We'll break for 60 seconds on KPLO.
At First Dakota.
At Olson's Pest Technicians, we've been protecting homes and businesses for over 55 years. From bats and attics to rodents and walls, ants in kitchens, stubborn bedbug infestations, even swarms of mosquitoes. We've seen it all, and we handle it all. With expert technicians, ethical treatments, and service across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, you can count on Olson's to get the job done right. Contact us today at Olson's Pest Technicians. Family owned, community trusted.
Do you want to join one of the oldest established organizations in Fort Pierre? Perhaps you are more interested in protecting the future. Whatever your position, the Fort Pierre Volunteer Fire Department is for you. We are responsible for fire protection in Fort Pierre and Stanley County. Become part of this amazing team by stopping down at the fire hall and discussing enrollment. We are not just limited to adults, as we have a new cadet program for students ages 14 to 18. For more information, click on our banner ad on the homepage. From everyone at the fire hall, go Buffs!
Out here, you learn that.
41-29 as Chamberlain takes the timeout, and they will try to inbound, and they throw the basketball away. And that's one of those things that you see early in the season that makes coaches old. You call a timeout to set up something, and they throw the inbounds pass away. Turnover number 15 for Chamberlain. And Stanley County with it. And as we approach the 6.5-minute mark remaining, Justin, I think for Stanley County, they need to put together an offensive run like they had in the second quarter or in the third quarter. And here's Jerea Walker with a big bucket for Stanley County.
Well, that's a good start. You know, you've got a couple shooters on the floor, need to get a stop on defense, try to pop a quick three. You got plenty of time, and that's another good play by Jerea Walker with the steal, but gives it back just as quickly.
Forces the turnover and then tries to start the transition game and throws it away. And then a foul is going to be called. And that will be whistled on Addie Deal. And for Addie, that's her third personal foul. First foul of the quarter for Stanley County. The 10-point ball game at 41-31. Chamberlain has it as they'll inbound it underneath their own basket with 6:12 remaining. Entry pass inside. Shot taken there. It's no good. Rebound Stanley County. So, in a way, you get a defensive stop. Now you see if you can get points at the other end. Austin Norman will work the dribble across half court. Deal on the wing right side. Walker tries to set the screen, but Deal will go the other way and gets to the rim. Shot no good. And then a foul on the rebound. That's going to be whistled against Chamberlain. Or are we going to call it on Stanley County? They're going to call it on Deal. That will be her fourth personal foul. And at this point, I think you got to leave her out there because you need the offensive firepower that she can provide. But she also has to play smart out there. And that's something that early in the season, I think a lot of these players that are being counted on for points and leadership, they got to be able to learn that. And they're going to have to learn it quickly.
McBride Winger not knocking down a nice shot. But back to your point, Darren, those are some of those fouls that you just have to get rid of if you're Addie Deal. One of those cheap fouls. You don't want to waste one of them this late in the game on a reach-in like that.
Especially chasing down a play like she was. Here's Jerea Walker, point-blank range. Walker had scored 6 points in the second half, 43-33. But again, Chamberlain and for Stanley County, they can't just trade baskets with Chamberlain. They need to get a defensive stop. Loose basketball, but Chamberlain will cover it up and keep the possession going. 20 on the shot clock. Stanley County will try to pick up pressure man-to-man, but Chamberlain moving the basketball well. And now a whistle and a foul, and that is going to be whistled on Kinsey Hall, and that will be her second. Team foul number 3, I believe, of the quarter for Stanley County.
Going back to what the Lady Buffaloes have been doing on offense, I think we're seeing what they were trying to do in the first half, but Chamberlain's defense was able to steer it away, get Jerea Walker going on the block, get her some points off the glass. It's starting to work, but again, we talked about this. Stanley County just looking to try to build a base here in game number 1.
Stanley County does have 3 timeouts remaining. The Cubs get the ball inside to Natalie Nelson, and Nelson with a shot that's partially blocked and short, but another foul is going to be called on Stanley County. This time it's Austin Norman, and Austin will join the 4-foul club as she picks up her 4th personal foul. Natalie Nelson at the free throw line to shoot 2. She was 3 of 3 from the stripe until she misses her first of 2 free throw attempts. Still a 10-point lead for Chamberlain at 43-33. Second free throw is up. That one rolls around and drops through. It's back to an 11-point lead once again. And for Stanley County, again with timeouts in their pocket, Norman brings the basketball across half court, and Chris Fosheim will take a timeout. I believe this will be a full timeout taken with 4:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. 44-33, Chamberlain leading. And we'll pause for 1 minute on KPLO.
The best one-stop.
You have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
4:35 remains in the fourth quarter. Timeouts are brought to you by Agtegra. Who's ahead maximizes your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. They set up Addie Deal in the high post. She loses the basketball. Here is Chamberlain the other way. Shot taken by Rory Hickey is no good. Rebound Lady Buffaloes. Foul in the backcourt is going to be whistled on Callie Randall of Chamberlain. That's her first personal foul. And it will be Stanley County basketball. 44-33 is our score with 4:22 remaining. And we said off air, Justin, to get to this point of the ballgame, you got to take a timeout if you're Stanley County. You need to get some offense somehow.
If you're going to make a run at this 11-point deficit, it's got to be right now here with about halfway left in the fourth quarter.
Jerea Walker has a shot that's blocked. Chamberlain will go the other way. McBride Wingert with a shot that's no good. Rebound pulled down by Stanley County. Here comes Addie Deal. And Deal thinks about pulling the trigger on a three, but gives the basketball up. Here is Hall. Trying to go inside. Nice pass, but the shot was up no good by Alyssa Tedder. And Chamberlain will come away with the rebound. Walker had a good look. Tedder had a good look. You come away empty back-to-back possessions, and you still find yourself down by 11 with 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, you want to take high percentage shots, but you have to hit those high percentage shots when you get them, because as this time winds away, you're going to be forced to take less and less makeable shots if you're Stanley County.
Rory Hickey with a shot from the baseline that's no good. Stanley County with the rebound. Here is Hall. Sets her feet. The three is taken, and it's good. Kinsey Hall with her third three of the ball game. It is 44-36. Here is Randall up the floor as they go to the corner. Chamberlain working with it, high post. Nelson, a whistle and a foul. That's going to be team foul number 5 on Stanley County, and Nelson will be at the free throw line. Jerea Walker picks up her 4th personal foul. And this, if you're Chamberlain, is an opportunity for them. Make these free throws, which they have done all game long, and put this ball game away. Nelson shooting 2, will put the first one up short.
That's positive for Stanley County. That's what you can only hope for here in the final 3:03, is that when Chamberlain does get to the line now in the bonus, that they miss these.
Emilio a point back in. Chelina McBride Wingert back in the ballgame for Chamberlain. Brian Bothwell into the contest for Stanley County. Nelson will hit 1 of 2. 45-36, a 9-point lead. Inside of 3 minutes remain, and here comes Stanley County in a hurry. Deal with it. Walker screen. Deal will drive, loses the handle. It's turned over, and here is Chamberlain the other way. Long pass that is too long and out of bounds. And I think for Chamberlain, as they work their way into this season, I think you want to be able to play at that kind of level, at that kind of speed. And if you're Zach Nelson, you can kind of live with those types of turnovers in the transition game as long as you're trying to attack the basket. And I think for both of these teams, as Addie Deal hits a baseline jumper and all of a sudden it's a 7-point ball game. But you've got to be able to live with those mistakes if you want the pace of play that I think both of these teams think they have to have.
Yeah, I think if you're Coach Nelson, though, you wish that would come in the first quarter, not the fourth quarter, when you're trying to put away a Stanley County team that's starting to find a little rhythm on offense.
Working to 2 minutes remaining. Can Stanley County get another defensive stop? And Natalie Nelson with a free throw line jumper that is no good. Battle for the rebound, and a foul is going to be called on the Lady Buffaloes, and that will be the 5th on Addie Deal.
Yeah, tough one to go out on if you're Addie Deal. Just trying to jar that one free, win back a possession for your team. And with 2:11 left, it'll be up to Jesse Fauchon, the 8th grade guard, to fill the role of Addie Deal. Tough shoes to fill. See if Fauchon can come up with some big buckets here late.
Amelia LaPointe shooting 2 free throws. And if you're Chamberlain, you need these free throws to put the ball game away. It's still a comfortable lead, but not as comfortable as double digits, which it was not long ago. It's 45-38. Cubs lead by 7. Here is the second free throw attempt, and that is good. And they're going to call lane violation on Chamberlain. So wave off the free throw. It remains a 7-point game. And that's the hard way to get a defensive stop. And now Stanley County will take another timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout with 2:11 remaining. 45-38 Chamberlain. 2:11 remains. We're back in 30 seconds on KPMO.
Farm Code. Youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends. How to fit in. How to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
2:11 remains in the fourth quarter. 40-40 Chamberlain leading. The Cubs led 39-29 at halftime, or at the end of the third quarter. They led by as many as 11 here in this fourth quarter. But Stanley County has been able to generate some offense and, more importantly, get some defensive stops. They go down low. Jerea Walker, tough shot inside. Kind of a wild shot with the left hand. It's up no good. Chamberlain with the rebound. They'll go the other way. Here's Natalie Nelson. Good footwork in the paint. Made a tough catch. Puts the shot up too strong and no good. Rebound pulled down by Stanley County. And this is, I think, a possession where they need a basket as Hall will drive, sends it out front. Shot is taken. That is off glass and no good by Alyssa Tedder. And the rebound pulled down by Chamberlain. 90 seconds remain as Chamberlain will push it across half court. And getting trapped in the corner is Rory Hickey, but they'll get it back out front. And Chamberlain will reload it, and they'll work on the clock. Of course, the Cubs are in the bonus. Chamberlain will try to play case defensively. Shot clock inside of 10. Here's a Randall 3. That shot is up, no good. Rebound kept alive. Now Stanley County will come away with it. And here are the Lady Buffaloes. Norman with the dribble across half court. Inside of a minute remaining in the ball game. Entry pass, nobody home, and Stanley County turns it over. Their 18th turnover of the ball game, and Chamberlain is going to come away with their first victory of the season. Here is Randall playing catch in the perimeter. She'll drive and is fouled. Chasing the play late there, Kinsey Hall. I believe she will be whistled for the personal. And free throws for Chamberlain as we'll play out the final seconds here. Check the foul. It's Ryan Bothwell that picks up her first.
I think if you're both coaches here, you're pretty pleased with the first performance for both of your teams tonight in the first game of the season.
First of 2 by Randall is up and good.
Both teams played hard. You got some players into foul trouble. And, of course, that gives you the opportunity to send some players off the bench, get them some meaningful minutes here early in the going.
Chamberlain, 11 of 17 from the free throw line in the ball game tonight. Here's their 18th free throw attempt, and that is up and no good by Randall. Rebound pulled down by Chamberlain, and Rory Hickey will put it up and in. 48-38. A 10-point lead once again, and they'll battle for it. And it's off of Stanley County out of bounds, and good defense by Amelia LaPointe to force the turnover for the Lady Buffaloes. That is their 19th of the ball game. And Chamberlain again will inbound. Stanley County chasing defensively, but this ball game will be in the books as the Cubs will improve to 1-0 on the season against their region foe in Stanley County. We talked about earlier, this is a tough schedule of games. Both teams with 5 before the Christmas break. And I think this was one that I think both teams thought they could get a victory for. Both teams with some tough matchups ahead. We'll see Stanley County take on Miller on Thursday night. We'll have that game for you on KPLO and also available online at drgnews.com on the KPLO page. Randall with the first of 2 free throws. That is up and good. Here's the second free throw. That is up and good. And that is icing on the cake for Chamberlain. 50-38. Stay with us during the post game. We'll talk about the big play of the game. We'll also talk about the player of the game. We'll make that announcement in our post game as well. Tip out by Chamberlain, forcing Stanley County to inbound it. They'll work the perimeter. Hall will drive and fire. Shot is no good. Rebound Chamberlain, and that will do it. 50-38 is our final score. Chamberlain Cubs victorious in this ball game tonight. Scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. Check out the large selection of new and used farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Great year-end deals during my annual inventory reduction event. We will take a 3-minute timeout. Post game is next on KPLO.
When you are busy taking in
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Generational success means different things to different people. But to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you are ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
Each day brings the opportunity to make a difference, to follow through with integrity, to solve challenges through innovative thinking, and to bring the technical know-how needed to get the job done. At Wilbur Ellis, this is how we work, standing side by side as local experts who partner with the stewards of the land. We do it together. That's the power of we.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierce, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
When life gets hard.
100.5 Pierre Fort Pierre. Be safe, drive smart.
Back here at Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre, post-game underway. We will recap a victory for Chamberlain. The Cubs with their first victory of the season, 50-38. Our final score here, and as we break things down, Justin, this is a ball game, and we talked about it 2 or 3 different times. We mentioned it. I think all in all, both coaches are going to be pretty happy with the way their opening game played out.
I would agree. So I think the offense for Stanley County tonight showed a lot of promise in what they can find later on in the season. And Chamberlain kind of finding their identity down low later on in this game. We talked about growth from quarter 1 to quarter 4. And we were just hoping to see that from both sides. And I think we did. I think you saw a lot from Chamberlain tonight in terms of their rebounding and Natalie Nelson down low, her ability to kind of command the game. But you saw some role players on both sides step up, and especially some underclassmen. So I think all good things here. You can throw the win and loss come take that with a grain of salt here for tonight, because both teams just trying to feel out who they are. And I think they both came a long way tonight.
I think both of these teams approached it 2 different ways. I think for Chamberlain, their game's going to be inside, getting the ball inside, getting point blank range shots and shooting a high percentage. But to get that against most teams, and even Stanley County at times defended the paint pretty well, you've got to be able to hit shots and knock them down from the outside. Callie Randall started out the ball game with a 3. Chamberlain made enough perimeter shots that you couldn't pack the paint. You really couldn't play zone, so you had to play straight up, especially in the 4th quarter. And in the 3rd quarter as well, you have to spread the floor. You have to respect those outside shooters, and that gives the opportunities inside that works a little better for Chamberlain. Stanley County on the other end of it, they've got to be able to develop some play inside. They're going to give up size to most teams, so they're going to have to be able to play tough. They're going to have to be able to get rebounds. They're going to have to continue to slash to the rim. They did a lot of that. They were successful a lot, but they could also improve on that, of course, very, very early in the season. But it's just interesting to see how both of these teams' style of play has shown themselves in game number 1.
Well, Jerea Walker was a big piece inside for Stanley County. She got into some foul trouble, as did Chamberlain's Natalie Nelson early on. And, of course, the key players, Jerea Walker, Addie Deal, those are going to be the names you'll hear a lot. But a couple players that I was really impressed with tonight on Stanley County side, Kinsey Hall, an 8th grader, and seeing Alyssa Tedder, a freshman, with some of the plays she was making, showing a lot of promise for Stanley County. And on Chamberlain's side, speaking to your point, we saw Talina McBride Winger get going late in the ball game. Callie Randall, of course, a threat from the outside. And those 2 things, with the outside game that Chamberlain possesses and some of the size down low, if they can find a rhythm and start working together and get kind of that unspoken bond that we know that they can form, look out for this team.
Let's look at individual scoring quickly. Stanley County with 2 double-figure scores, led by the 8th grader Kinsey Hall with 14 points, Addie Deal with 13, Jerea Walker with 6, 4 for Alyssa Tedder, and Ryan Bothwell adds a basket for Stanley County. The Lady Buffaloes did not get a lot of opportunities at the free throw line. They just went to the free throw line 4 times. They were 1 of 4 from the stripe. 19 turnovers for the Lady Buffaloes in the ball game tonight. For the Chamberlain Cubs, they had 2 double-figure scores as well, led by Natalie Nelson's 15 points, Talina McBride Wingert with 10, Callie Randall with 9, 6 for Rory Hickey off the bench. She played well. 4 points for Amelia LaPointe, 4 for Claire Connect, 2 for Lania Pease off the bench for Chamberlain, and a total of 50 in the ball game. Chamberlain did get their chances at the free throw line. They went there 21 times and shot a good percentage, 13 of 21 from the free throw line. Chamberlain with 17 turnovers in the contest. Chamberlain scored double figures in all 4 quarters. 16-13 they led at the first. 28-19 was the score at halftime. Chamberlain out in front. Chamberlain extended the lead to 39-29 after 3 and win by a final of 50-38. Time for our big play of the game, and that is brought to you by the folks at Golden Buffalo.
The KPLO Sports Big Play of the Game is brought to you by your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule, where you can play big. The Golden Buffalo Casino is proud of all our area youth and all of their accomplishments in activities. Your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule, is a proud sponsor of KPLO Sports Big Play of the Game.
Well, Justin, as we look at the big play of the game, we knew kind of coming in what was going to happen, and it was eventually size does matter, and eventually it came down to rebounding and defense in the paint for Chamberlain. That's what they used to keep the lead, maintain the lead, and eventually come away with the victory here tonight.
Well, we saw the defensive point early on. They just flooded the paint. Stanley County trying to get the ball inside, but to no avail. Chamberlain with quick hands and great defensive prowess were able to generate a lot of steals, as we talked about with that 19 turnover statistic. But also on the offensive side, their offensive and defensive rebounding, it wasn't really there in the first half, but they really got their footing in the second half, and that's what was able to separate that deficit for Chamberlain and give them a comfortable win here tonight.
That turns out to be our big play of the game, brought to you by the folks at Golden Buffalo. And we will wrap up our post game here tonight as we announce our player of the game. We'll do that next, but first, let's hear from CHS River Plains.
Stay connected with CHS. Enroll in our grain and location update messaging system to get harvest hours, grain markets, and location-specific updates right to your phone. Stop by your local CHS for fast, easy enrollment. Also, don't miss out on our Autumn Rewards financing opportunity. How does locking in low interest rates not only on seed and chemical, but also fertilizer for 2026 sound for your operation? CHS is your one-stop shop for grain, agronomy, energy, and animal nutrition. Locally rooted, farmer-focused, and growing together.
Well, we look at the player of the game nominees. We look at the Stanley County side first, and two double-figure performances for Kinsey Hall, the 8th grader, with 14 points off the bench. Addie Deal with 13. On the Chamberlain side, 10 points for Talina McBride-Wingert. But our player of the game, we both agreed, Natalie Nelson. Nelson picks up 3 personals in the opening quarter. She scored 6 points. She's set for the remainder of the half. Didn't start in the third quarter, but came out, played some big minutes, and had some big baskets and bigger free throws down the stretch. She scored 9 in the second half, finished with 15, and she really was the difference maker in the ball game tonight.
Well, it's game 1 of the season, but it was pretty early to tell that the Chamberlain Cubs go as Natalie Nelson goes. When she was on the bench with foul trouble, that's when Stanley County was able to keep it close. When she checked back in and played her majority of the minutes in the second half, that's when Chamberlain really found their rhythm. And Natalie Nelson is going to have a lot of T-shirts in her clothing bin this this winter, with all the player of the games that she's going to earn. And she got one here tonight. She definitely played about as well of a game as you could play, minus the foul trouble. Really just kind of shifted the whole momentum and the focus of this game in the second half.
And just kind of a sidebar to this, but we talked about it, but it is, I think, really good for both of these teams, the way they adjusted to the way this ball game was officiated. They called it tight. The girls committed a few fouls in that first quarter, and we thought maybe we'd be here for a while and we'd shoot a lot of free throws. But both teams, I think, adjusted very well to the way the game was officiated, and you're going to see that up and down, and they just have to adapt and be able to adjust to the way the game is called.
Well, you can only ask one thing of the officials. If you're going to call it tight, if you're going to call it loose, you got to call it that way both ways, and that's exactly what our officials did here tonight. I thought they called a great ball game, but like you said, there was a lot of whistles early. They told the players with those whistles exactly how this game was going to be called, and well, both teams, I thought, adjusted very well, and including Natalie Nelson, who came in off the bench with those 3 fouls in the second half, said, no, I got to play a little bit more fundamentally sound, and she did just that, having an outstanding performance.
And she is our player of the game, brought to you by the folks at CHS River Plains. Join us for high school basketball Thursday night. We'll travel to Miller. We'll be at the Miller Armory for a doubleheader of girls and boys basketball, as Stanley County will take on Miller. First game scheduled for 6:30, 6:15 with our pregame. We'll have both games of the doubleheader for you, available online on KPLO and also on the KPLO page at drgnews.com. Saturday afternoon, we will have high school basketball for you from Murdo. The Jones County Coyotes hosting Highmore Herald in a girls-boys doubleheader, with the first game scheduled to tip off at around 3:30. Vikings football Sunday night. Vikings take on the Cowboys, 6 p.m. with the Vikings pregame. And we'll have the kickoff shortly after 7 o'clock on your home for Minnesota Vikings football, 94.5 KPLO. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you, don't fear for deer. It starts with you. You have someplace to be. And our coverage of high school basketball tonight on KPLO, brought to you by Edward Jones, Byrie Brothers, the Oasis Pump and Pack, West 40, Farmco, and Access Health. Coverage of regional high school basketball tonight also brought to you by the Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Burning Electric, Bauman Lumber, the Hawaii Federal Credit Union, Zander Auto Parts, the Stanley County Booster Club, Access Health, the First Dakota National Bank, and Avera Health. John Neff has been our technical director. DRG Media Group's world headquarters, alongside Justin Cowart. Good to work with you, buddy.
Had a great time.
I'm Darren Boyle from Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre. Good night, everybody.
This game on KPLO was brought to you by the following in-game sponsors: Bank West Insurance, the DRG News app, May Adam Law Firm, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, Riverview Power Sports in Ocoma, Agtegra, Buy Right Seeds, Golden Buffalo Casino, CHS River Plains, and Darren Boyle Sales. Thanks for listening to this coverage of high school sports on KPLO.